that cover over it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, brother.
But so let's talk about the people that really want to hear about Rick are like, damn, 5 minutes in and we're finally talking about Rick.
It's been 5 minutes.
It's been 6 minutes, brother.
Oh, boy.
But so Rick may live. And I've been one of these. I've said the whole time, Rick's going to die. Rick's going to die. I understand it's, people really want to see him live, but let's be realistic. Rick's going to die. They would not leave it open-ended, but there are so many points that one needs to consider when thinking about this. And obviously we will know next week. But it's fun. I mean, that's half of the fun of shows and entertainment is speculating. I mean, we still got a few more days before we're going to find out. So it's always fun just to throw some thoughts out there and see, who was really, really wrong, who was close to right, who whatever. But so a lot of people are starting to say that Rick's not going to die, that they want you to, because they keep saying like Rick's final episodes, yada, yada, yada. But, and then Carrie Payton, did I say his name right? The guy that plays King Ezekiel.
Oh, boy. I don't know.
He said something to the effect in an interview that, like, Rick just kind of walks away, which to me says one or two things.
Oh, boy.
He is going to leave, or he's going to turn into a zombie and just kind of walk away.
Yeah. Ooh.
But a lot of people, here's what we're thinking. Here's some of the reasons why it's gotten me. I'm not 100% set on Rick's going to live. My original thought was Rick is going to die. That's how they're going to do it. But here are some convincing things. Well, I don't know if I want to say convincing, but here are some good points to the aid of like Rick will survive. Number one, Ann/Jadis needs an A to get on that helicopter. They told her she needed an A. That's what it would take to get her out of there. Mm-hmm. And she was going to give them Father Gabriel, but obviously he convinced her not to with his sweet, sweet nature. He swooned her to the point where she just chloroformed him instead of, kidnapping him. But so she didn't get her A. She is gone, but we don't know that she's left on the helicopter. In fact, there is a shot that we used in one of our other videos. I didn't realize it until someone had to point out. Maybe it might have been Movie Idol or 999 Gaming or one of these other Walking Dead channels. They pointed out that was a picture that is not even been in an episode yet. And it's a picture of Ann looking up at a low-flying helicopter. And so a lot of people are thinking, here's what's going to happen. Rick is injured, but it's off to the side. It's not really a fatal wounding if he can get it treated. It's kind of just through his side love handle there.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of a vital organ. I don't know anatomy that great. So, maybe there's something. But, movie wise, it's usually got to be like center mass to be considered deadly.
Yeah.
And we know he's going to bleed out. He's going to have hallucinations. He's going to lose a lot of blood. But a lot of people thinking that what's going to happen is, he's going to collapse, whatever. He's still going to end up leading the walkers to the bridge. He'll collapse, whatever. He'll be in Michonne's arms. He'll be in, with whoever. And then Jadis is going to show up and be like, look, I can save him, but I can't tell you how, and you're never going to see him again. Like Rick might be completely unconscious or something, because I don't think Rick would willingly go. But like, one of those times where she's going to be like, I can save him. And really, she's doing herself a favor, too, because she's got to have an A.
Yeah.
And she's we've seen now that we know she sends people off, we've seen through other circumstances that she's obviously tried to give Rick away several times to these people. She's, at least twice that I could think of. So she's going to say, hey, so it's helping her get a ride out of there. But it's also going to save her. But she's like, you'll never see him again. I can't explain. And some people won't be happy with that. But you know what? At the end of the day, Rick Grimes lives. Yeah. I would have a peace of mind. I'd be like, well, and then go ahead and give your thoughts. I've been yammering on for too long.
It's wild because, in the weeks leading up to the season premiere, they said, it's not going to be open-ended. This is going to be a very final ending for Rick Grimes. So I don't know, man. They've misled us before.
But they've never said he would die.
No, they haven't said he would die.
They have not said that he would straight up die. And some people are speculating, let me know in the comment section about this, that there's a possibility episode 5 to 6, episode 6 is going to be set years in the future. We're going to have a time jump, another time jump in between episodes. We had about a year and a half, close to time jump between season 8 and 9. Now there's a possibility we're going to have an even further time jump between episodes 5 and 6.
Lord have mercy. I didn't know about all that.
Yeah, it's what they're saying. I don't know if that's confirmed or not. Again, and that's something somebody else commented about us not doing our research or something. Look, man, we are speculating. We invite people to correct us because we both, JP, poor guy, has like 2 or 3 jobs. I've got one full-time job that demands a lot of my attention. So, I mean, once we do this podcast, the majority of my day is work-related. Then I get home and I try to do a little walking. So,
well, the thing with me, I don't like to research super hard because I don't want to stumble upon spoilers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, and the whole idea of this podcast is we are more of like you're talking to your friends about The Walking Dead. We would love to get more expert on it. Maybe over time we will. And I think we've gotten better on some stuff. There are things that jog our memory back from like season 2. You know, you might be like, oh, which actually probably not. That's one of my favorite seasons. Unpopular opinion. But I love season 2. But, you know, I mean, there are some things. I mean, it's a big shit. It's been going on 9 seasons. There's lots of characters, and these are 16 episode seasons.
And I've killed a lot of brain cells along the way.
Yes, you have.
Over the last 9 years,
But we support your sobriety.
Well, what? Right? Who's staying sober? Nobody. I never alluded to that.
But so yes, we will get things wrong. So please bear with us. If you want a 100% accuracy, then I would highly recommend going and finding one of those channels that have the time to do that. Believe me.
And the desire. I'm not trying to be, Johnny Facts.
I wouldn't mind being Johnny Facts on this, but I don't have the time. Like maybe through time, maybe we'll one day make some money and then we can focus on this. But I mean, right now we have jobs and lives that, so we are more conversational. We are a podcast, we're not a presentation. We're more like we just want to discuss it. So I know I'm rambling on about that, but I just wanted to get that out of the way because I saw that somebody commented that on one of our last videos, and it's like, we appreciate every single listener, but if you want precise, watch The Talking Dead.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like Chris Hardwick's paid to know this show. That's his main gig. If that was my main gig, I'd be able to tell you anything about anything.
Full staff.
And I just get brain dead sometimes. Half the times, as soon as we get off the mic, I can be like, "Oh yeah, that was so and so." It's
when
I'm put on the spot, I'm not very good.
One of our commenters was like, this episode was so boring. You guys are great, but you sighed like a bunch of different times, and we're not sighing because we're bored with what we're talking about. It's like 7 a.m.
We're sighing because it's really early.
Yeah.
We're going to start trying to do some podcasting because JP usually leaves this job and goes straight to another job. But there are days where JP is able to come back in the afternoon, which is what we used to do was afternoon podcasting.
That's how it all started. Yeah.
So what we're hoping is that sometime soon we can start, because in the mornings, man, when I go on my FM morning show, it's easier because I got information right in front of me. I've got
right
notes.
Now. Yawning.
Look at that, JP. I was yawning all day yesterday, so you're completely okay. But when we go on our morning shows, we have notes and we have like prep and things that it's easier. Whereas The Walking Dead, I have nothing in front of me to tell me about this show. We're just talking about it. But so, anyways, just wanted to say that. But no, we weren't sighing or going because we don't. I mean, I have absolutely 100% loved this season so far. Here. I can't say enough good things. If you don't like it, I've said it a million times, but hey, that's your prerogative. That's your thing. If you don't like it, no worries. I mean, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong for not enjoying it, but you're not going to tell me I'm wrong for enjoying it either. I truly am enjoying this season much more than I've enjoyed the last season or two.
Yeah, same here. And I mean, there are certain shows that are like guilty pleasure shows, and I'll admit that. There are certain shows that really aren't that good, aren't that well written, but you still like them. And The Walking Dead at times has been a little bit of a guilty pleasure, but I think it's back on track. It's a fresh start.
That's the thing, man. It's like a 16 episode show. I mean, it's a lot of episodes for this type of show. Whereas Game of Thrones gets 10 episodes a season, so they really get to condense it, and it's just nonstop. And I'm not going to defend Scott Gimple. He's done some really stupid. I refuse to get that comic Die just because Scott Gimple was attached to it.
The first issue was good. I didn't pick it.
I was like, I'm not giving him any more money, man.
But Angela King, thank God for her.
Yeah, and I like what she's doing with Daryl's character. I like that I finally. Even though I was mad at him though in the last episode, but but that thing is, I'm not that mad at him because I understand. You know what I mean? This is a much more organic feud that they have. It makes sense. It's understandable, especially knowing how Daryl is. So I wasn't happy with what he did, but I don't hate him. Whereas last season they got to fight on the side of the road. I was like, just kill Daryl and be done with it.
Yeah, man. I like at this point.
I wanted you to end it.
I understand the argument of having killed Negan like on the battlefield. You know, like, I
Like
think,
in the heat of battle.
exactly. But I think like at this point, like a big public execution, I think that would like stir up more. You know,
Do more harm than good.
yeah. But now, if Rick had just walked out, you know, from under that tree and been like, you know, Negan's dead, the war is over, maybe that would have been the best thing to do.
Right. Well, and he slashed his throat. He was bleeding out, and maybe just instead of saying, Sadiq, save him, maybe he should have just been like, Negan's dead. Like you said, the war's over. Woo! And the example of letting people coexist would have been keeping the saviors alive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Negan could have died, which I really dug the dialogue between Michonne and Negan. So I'm kind of glad he lived
that was a
just
great
for
scene.
that, man. Like getting to see him, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, you know, because he does phenomenal as Negan. But, you know, we've seen a lot of him like, holy, and leaning back and being eccentric. So it was cool seeing him be, you know, more human. And I liked when he found out like Carl died. I love that because it showed how human he was. So, you know, but I agree. But anyways, I'm getting way off track. We love talking about The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people that think that Rick's going to live now. What do you think? Where's your head still at, JP? Do you think he's going to live? Do you think he's going to die?
I mean, I definitely think the helicopter's going to come into play. I think it'd be crazy if, say, like they take him up there, they're trying to, you know, treat him, and he dies, and the helicopter turns, and the next thing we see is like the helicopter spinning out of control because he's eating everybody. Now, that'd be wild.
That'd be wild.
That'd be
but I don't
something
think that's
people would
gonna
be
happen.
talking about.
They'd be talking. I don't know if they'd be happy about that. Or like after the helicopter crashes, they might would be okay as if like we got the Lonely Walker theory, you know, where like after the helicopter crashes, somehow Rick's zombie survives it, and you just see Rick wander off into the woods by himself. That would be bittersweet. But also another thing, I forgot to mention this. Yes, this is another piece of the puzzle. Another reason why people are thinking that Rick. You know that they're considering making like a Walking Dead movie, right?
I've been
like
reading
a
stuff about
theatrical release movie tying into the show. Okay. Scott Gimple has been really like people have been starting to think that Scott Gimple's, you know, really hinting and alluding to a movie. So what if it is Rick Grimes' final episodes, but Rick Grimes is not out of the universe? I mean, Andrew Lincoln himself at the Comic-Con where they finally discussed him leaving said, and I almost quote, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he almost said these exact words, if not these exact words, my relationship with the character of Rick Grimes is far from over. Now, some people could interpret that as he's talking about going to Comic-Cons and he'll always be Rick Grimes. And that's what he meant by my relationship with that character is far from over. But a lot of people are digging deeper and thinking that was a little hint there that, yes, Rick is going to be off the show. And he might be off the show for a few seasons. He might not ever come back to the show. But what might happen is he might make his exit. And, of course, some people are going to be a little pissed off. Like, he just flew off in a helicopter. That's open-ended. But then we'll have a movie. And I do think that Rick will die in that movie. I do think – but that will allow them the time, the maybe, you know, whatever they need to make it super epic and – you know, whatever.
Shoot, man, it could turn into like a Jack Reacher kind of like movie franchise.
Right.
You know?
I mean, who knows?
A series of
Rick
movies. Who knows? Yeah.
So a lot of people thinking that, yes, it is his final episodes on the show. He's not going to do any more episodes, and he might not ever come back to the show other than like to direct. But he might be in movies. So I don't know. I'm glad that they've got us talking. I know that this wasn't. But that's the thing too. I feel for the writers because a lot of people are like, you got to do this with Rick Grimes. You got to do that. But they didn't plan on writing him out. You know, Rick would have, if Andrew Lincoln wasn't dropping out of the show, Rick would have continued right on through this season, business as usual. So, I mean, just to have that thrown on him probably was a bit of a pain in the ass. And I'm sure they had some ideas, like maybe one day Andy's going to get tired of playing this role. So here's what we are thinking we'll do. But that also all depends on where they're at in the story and how they can do it. So,
man, I have not been so excited for a TV movie adaptation since Sex in the City 2. That much I can tell you with finality.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So was that good?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, were you in the theater? Was that the movie you got kicked out of?
It was like the third time I'd went to see it, and certain impulses.
You just lost control, right?
Yeah.
That's why they called you Pee Wee for a while.
There were only like 3 other people in the theater. I thought I was safe. What do you want me to say?
There's no safe space for public masturbation.
Apparently not. Sometimes you got to learn the hard way.
And for those that take everything very literally, no, JP's never been arrested for public masturbation. They're saying we forget sometimes that some of the listeners don't understand our sense of humor, and it's like we're being eccentric, we're joking, we're
facetious. Definitely.
JP's like, yeah, definitely that never happened.
Yep.
He's like thumbing me up behind the mic. You can't see it.
Thumbing you up.
He's like, thank you. But yeah, so I don't know, man. So do you, in your gut, what do you see? I mean, I know it's hard to tell and you don't want to really make a prediction, but don't worry about being wrong. Just what does your gut tell you? Rick's going to live or Rick's going to die this Sunday?
God. My emotions are all over the place, and my predictions never, ever pan out.
Mine don't either. I rarely get predictions right. I don't think. I mean, I'm sure I've gotten 1 or 2 here or there, but most of my predictions are very wrong. I mean, hey, you accurately predicted that Eugene was going to end up rallying. I really thought that they were going to,
That's right.
I thought they were like splitting from the comic, and I truly thought Eugene was done being good. Like Eugene was 100% Team Negan, which I still think he was for a while. But so
man, it'd be great to see Rick in a whole new setting, whole new cast of characters.
Yeah,
I'm down with this movie idea you've come up with.
I didn't come up with it. I found this on the internet. None of these are just theories that I've seen.
You're not producing this film, no?
Well, no, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I might do a little production, yeah. But another thing I've seen in a comment section, it might have even been a comment on one of our videos, was someone had said like Rick will, like in the movie, Rick will wake up in this strange place like the Commonwealth or somewhere else, and he'll fight his way back to his family, and that'll be what the movie is. You know what I mean? Like Rick getting back to
just waking up from another coma.
And I mean, think about how things will be different. He'll be coming back to I imagine like a post-Whisperer, or maybe he'll come back in the heat of the Whisperer War. Why are zombies using knives?
Yeah,
Michonne, what the hell? And before we wrap this up, let's clarify one thing. I don't know if the young lady's listening or not, but somebody had said that we were not fans of Michonne and that we weren't fans of Rick and Michonne, and that we would rather see Madison and Rick together. And
that's weird.
We love comments. They're our favorite part. But let me just explain. Number one, we love Michonne. JP and I have stated way back to, back to like season 6, back when it was like, who did Negan kill? Mm-hmm. JP had said, if Negan killed Michonne, I'm done with the show. Like if he killed me, you said that.
Okay.
JP was like, I'm done. I've mentioned numerous times that aside from Rick, my favorite character on this show is Michonne. I think that she is phenomenal. So we, before you make a jump decision about what we think, make sure you really listen to these.
I can't even remember the last time we brought up Madison. Can you?
Not unrelated to not if it wasn't related to Fear the Walking Dead. No, and I mean, like, yeah, we might have said way back in the day.
Oh, wait a minute.
We might have said way back in the day that which slight spoilers, I guess, for Fear the Walking Dead, but we had said way back when Madison got introduced, or maybe when Travis, died, that if they end up doing a crossover, Madison and Rick would be like a power couple, but. That was before, like, Rick and Michonne really got together. When Rick and Michonne got together, it took all of us by surprise. You, myself, and the other guy, Matt, that podcast with us sometimes, because there was no build-up to it. It was a very surprising, like, getting together. You know what I mean? There was no...
I was thinking Jesse. I was thinking his last girlfriend.
No.
Wasn't that her name?
Yeah.
Madison, of course. Fear the Walking Dead.
Right. They said Madison, which I thought
beautiful blondes.
Yeah.
They're easily confused.
And I did like Jess and Rick together. I thought they had good chemistry. But but those of us that read the comic, we knew that was we knew it was going to happen.
I don't remember us bringing her up since Fear the Walking Dead.
I don't either. And I hate to sound so defensive. A lot of times people will say something and it's not even worth mentioning. But I do just want to make sure that you know. No. It would be different if it was some random character and I could be like, well, I'm just not fond of that character. I love Michonne. Denai Guerrero, as I've said many times, one of the most talented actors on set. Her and Andy Lincoln, are incredible. Lenny James, also incredible. But, I mean, I've always loved Michonne. So I need you people to know us. We love Michonne. And Rick and Michonne getting together threw us off guard for an episode or two because there was no build-up to it. Like Daryl and Carol had a lot of build-up, and they never ended up being in a relationship. But had that have happened, you'd have just been more like, yeah, it finally happened. But it wasn't. But Rick and Michonne didn't really. So, you know, when it happened, it took an episode or two to feel real because we were like, did Rick and Michonne just hook up? But we've mentioned plenty of times now, we love Rick and Michonne together. In fact,
I loved it from day one.
We were just talking about how 3 podcasts ago, we were talking about how awesome it was to see Rick, Michonne, and their daughter, not their, Shane's daughter.
I thought you were like some kind of three-way I missed out on or something.
No.
Rick, Michonne, and who? What happened? Huh?
No. No, but seeing them in that family,
girl,
we said that we love that. We were like, man, it's so cool to see Michonne, like the motherly side of Michonne and the family Michonne, and like her and Rick having that family dynamic. So, just want to put that out there. No, we love Michonne, and we really like Michonne with Rick. So, like I said, took us by surprise when it happened because we didn't see it coming, but we never said we didn't like it. So. Boom. But yeah, what do you think? Is Rick going to live? Is Rick going to die? How's this going to play out? Let us know in the comment section. Don't forget about mail call. Let us know if you got something you want us to talk about.
And
we're happy to talk about
planning on just doing kind of a little conversational sort of thing after hours.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with The Walking Dead.
Yeah, just kind of getting to know us.
Can't promise we won't swerve back to The Walking Dead, but we don't plan to talk about The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch you tomorrow. I'm Justin.
And I'm JP.
And this is The Podcasting Dead.
Yeah.